It's Friday, November 30th, 2007, and you're watching The Ointment. I'm Steve Tatham, and I'm ready for December. Bring it on. Fridays here on the show, I take a look back at some of my favorite stories from this past week, so let's get right to it. Turning to news of election 2008, Republican presidential candidate Duncan Hunter has sent out a strongly worded letter condemning the new Brian De Palma war movie Redacted, because apparently Hunter is now realizing he's never going to be elected president, so he's lowered his sights and now he's shooting for Ebert and Hunter. The city of San Francisco, in an environmental move, has banned plastic bags. No more plastic bags at grocery stores. However, all the oil in the bay you want. In an unrelated move, the city of Los Angeles has made it mandatory that all citizens must wear plastic faces. Did you hear about this beauty pageant down there in Puerto Rico where things were very competitive? The eventual winner was crowned, but not until she overcame the sabotage from her fellow contestants who put in her gown and in her makeup pepper spray. Yeah, things a little rough down there. In fact, for the talent portion, Miss Puerto Rico did some waterboarding. An American success story. His name is Butch Davis. He's the football coach at North Carolina. In his first season there, he went 4-8. And what was the result? Well, he's getting a $291,000 raise, bringing his salary to $2.1 million. So go out and tell your boss that is what you'd like to be measured against, only in America. Some papers were released yesterday from the Nixon archive, which shed light on that famous meeting between then President Nixon and musical superstar Elvis Presley. Apparently the meeting happened because Elvis promised to help the president with the war on drugs. That was a good idea. And to make sure it was a fair trade, Nixon said he'd reciprocate by helping Elvis with his sex appeal. And finally, I wrap up each week with my news quiz question. Today's question is about the nation of China, who launched a probe to the moon. And here we see the very first photograph taken by China of the moon's surface. The question is, what happened right after this picture was taken? A, they decided to make the world's largest postage stamp. B, they had to rush the guy to the hospital because of the exposure to the red dye in that ribbon. Or C, they convinced America to outsource NASA. That's The Ointment for another week. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Steve Tatham, and that's news. Have a great weekend, everybody.